All right, so we're back for another deep dive,
Yeah.
and today we're going to be looking at
Rule 38
Rule 38.
from the 40 Rules of Love.
Right, and it's all about transformation
Mm-hmm.
and, changing your life.
Yeah, it asks a pretty powerful question, actually.
Oh, yeah, it really does. It says, are you ready? Are you ready to change your life?
And yourself, even.
And yourself. I mean, wow, that is such a huge question. What do you think when you first hear that?
It's interesting, because I think it applies to anyone.
Uh-huh.
Like, no matter where you are in life,
Right.
it's something we can all ask ourselves at any point. Are we ready to change?
Yeah. It's like a call to action almost.
Yeah.
And the source material even talks about, the tragedy of living the same day over and over again. Like, we should always be seeking that renewal, being reborn with every breath.
Right.
And it even gets into this idea of dying before death.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, that sounds kind of intense, right?
Oh, it's not about literal death.
I hope not.
No. It's more of a metaphor, It's
Yeah.
about shedding our old selves, like
Oh, I see.
letting go of the stuff that's holding us back,
Mhm.
like those old habits, those limiting beliefs.
Like those things that are really keeping us from growing.
Exactly.
So I guess it's kind of like, you're attached to an idea or a belief,
Yeah.
and maybe it's not serving you anymore.
It's holding you back.
It's holding you back.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to, I guess, let it go, kind of like a death.
Right. And that can be so hard.
It is.
But it makes space for something new.
That's a good point. Like, I used to be terrified of public speaking.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. It was bad. But I kind of had to let go of that fear,
Mm-hmm.
to move forward in my career.
And that's a great example of this dying before death.
Yeah.
You had to let go of that old version of
It
yourself
was like a death.
to become who you are now.
So I guess this idea, this dying before death,
Mhm.
it's really about making a conscious choice.
Yes, absolutely.
Just like actively choosing to let go.
Of the things that are preventing us from evolving.
Right, even if they're, comfortable or familiar.
Exactly. And it's really about becoming our truest selves.
That's a good point. Like, this isn't just about, like, becoming something, quote unquote, better, right?
No, not necessarily.
It's more about becoming who we're really meant to be,
Yeah.
which I guess can take, a lot of different forms.
So many different forms.
So it's about identifying those parts of ourselves, like, what do we need to let go of?
Right.
How do we even start to, like, figure that out?
Well, there are tools,
Okay.
things like journaling can be really helpful.
Yeah.
Meditation, therapy, those can all help us, like, understand ourselves better.
To kind of get to know those parts of ourselves that maybe we haven't fully acknowledged.
Yeah. And then we can start to figure out what we need to let go of.
So it's not just about death, it's also about rebirth. There's something on the other side.
Exactly.
Like when we shed those old layers, what happens?
It opens up space for something new.
Mm.
New possibilities, new perspectives.
It's like we're making room for growth.
It's like a caterpillar transforming into a butterfly.
Oh, yeah.
It has to go through this radical transformation
It has to completely change.
to become this beautiful new creature.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes, personal transformation,
And it's not always pretty.
yeah, it can be messy, right? It's not always a straight line.
No, it can be challenging.
So it's not just about becoming this beautiful butterfly.
It's about becoming our authentic selves.
Mm-hmm. Which can be, beautiful in its own way,
Absolutely.
but it might not look how we expect.
And it might not be easy.
So this deep dive, it's really about letting go
And embracing the unknown.
of those old patterns, those old beliefs.
Make room for something new.
Yeah. And to grow into who we're meant to be.
What do you think you're ready to let go of?
That's a good question. What about you?
Well, I think for me, it's about letting go of the need to control everything.
Oh, yeah. I see.
I like to be in control, but sometimes I have to surrender
Yeah.
and trust that things will work out.
And that's hard, right?
It is, but it's also very freeing.
It's like we're learning to let go and embrace the possibility of becoming something new.
Exactly. And that possibility, that's what makes this whole process so exciting.
So what do you want our listeners to walk away with today?
I want them to ask themselves, what part of yourself are you ready to let go of?
And to remember, letting go can lead to amazing new possibilities.
And those possibilities, those are what make life worth living.
So let go and see what amazing things you can become.
You might surprise yourself.
We'll see you on the next deep dive.
See that?